Hi, welcome back to the Roundtable. I'm your host, Steven, and today is Star Wars Day, May 4th. May the 4th be with you. I decided to make a impromptu list, a ranking of the Star Wars films. Of course, this is off the top of my head. I could change their order tomorrow, but as of today, this is what I'm feeling. And again, this could change tomorrow, but I'll start off with what my list is today and my rankings. First, we'll go off with Star Wars, The Clone Wars, the animated film. It's cute. We all know, if anybody is a Star Wars fan, The Clone Wars got better as it went along. But the Clone Wars is cute, but the series got a lot better as it moved on. So it stays at number 12 in my list. Next up, we have Attack of the Clones. This was the prequel trilogy. It served no purpose, that movie. I think it just, we're going to make a trilogy, we need a second one. That's basically it. Next up, this is intertwining 10 and 9. Today it's The Rise of Skywalker. It ended the trilogy with Rey. I know they tried to wrap up all the loose ends created with the other film that's close to it, The Last Jedi, which comes in today at number 9. The Last Jedi, I understand that they're trying to break the lore of the Jedi, but I think it was too late. The characters were established, and that they tried to break things down too much. And some things were good. The casino scene had to be edited out of there. That didn't work for me at all. Other than that, there's some good parts to it, some not so good, and that affected Rise of Skywalker, which had to basically kind of try to fix everything and put everything in a nice little bow for everybody, and they both kind of suffered for it. Next up, number 8, The Phantom Menace. Yes, Jar Jar Binks is in it, and yes, he is annoying, but Ian McGregor, Liam Neeson are in it, and you know what? I was happy. I was a happy camper seeing those two guys. Ian McGregor as Obi-Wan, I kept saying that for years, and when I saw him in Trainspotting, this guy is Obi-Wan, and it came true. Next, number 7, Revenge of the Sith. It is the final one in the original prequel trilogy. Good stuff in there. I mean, of course, that classic, what we were thinking. You got the high ground, I don't know what was going on there, but great fight scenes. It looked great. The battle scene in the beginning, amazing. A great adventure. Yes, it had flaws, but which Star Wars movie didn't? Well, I think there's one or two that may have not, but we'll get back to that later. Number 6 is Solo, a Star Wars story. That, after all the trouble we heard that it was that entertaining, I'm still surprised it's at the midway point of this list. I thought for sure it would be number 11 or 12. When you first told me about this and I heard all the stories and, the directors getting kicked out, but you know what? Does it feel like a Star Wars movie? Not exactly. But it's a good adventure, and I kind of like the guy who played Han Solo. I enjoyed it. It was fun. That's all I can expect. Have a little fun in a movie, right? Number 5, another one that surprised me, Rogue One, about the rebels that steal, the plan of the Death Star and how to destroy it and everything. That they didn't have to rely on the Jedi and all this great stuff. The lore had to be left alone and had to follow these people, these brave warriors going against the Empire. A different aspect of it put the war in Star Wars, right? Was the war, and they didn't have to rely. They didn't have Luke Skywalker, anybody to say that. I thought that was a great little turn. The ending with Darth Vader. I mean, come on, that didn't give you goosebumps. It gave me goosebumps. I loved it. Number 4, The Force Awakens. I may have switched that with Rogue One at the last minute. At the time, I thought it felt like the original Star Wars series to me. Granted, Rey is Luke and they're on a sand planet. It's cut and paste of The New Hope, no doubt about it. But what J.J. Abrams did in this is he brought it back to the feel of the original series. So mission accomplished in that sense. The rest of it kind of fell to the wayside, but what can you do? Number 3. We all know these are going to be the original series, right? We know we're going. So number three for me, Return of the Jedi. I like the beginning. I kind of like every once in a while. I do like the portions with the Ewoks, and then there's times I don't, and it annoys me. So I put it at the third. It's still a great movie. The battle sequence over Endor, fantastic. Number two and number one, interchangeable. Every day it changes. But today, number two goes to A New Hope, or the original Star Wars. A lot of people put this first because it's the first time they saw it. I, as a little kid, I think I was like 7 years old, seeing the Star Destroyer going over my head in the theater, and it seemed like it never ending. You know, made me love movies. That was like the turning point for me. Like, I like movies, and suddenly I went, oh my god, I understand the magic. And ever since then, every time the lights go out, I keep hoping for that sensation. And sometimes every once in a while, there it happens, you know. But that was the first one where I was a kid and I was like mesmerized. And I think I saw that movie at least 11 times in the theater, at least. I think every time I made a little money or my allowance, I went back to the theater and see that movie. I think I drove my parents nuts, but they accepted it, and the rest is history. Number one, The Empire Strikes Back. This was showed that it's not only that Star Wars is a great adventure, but it's great filmmaking. It was a little bit more adult oriented, dealt with the consequences of the first film, and of course the epic cliffhanger of we're finding out who Darth Vader is. And if you don't know by now, really, you don't know by now, Luke, you know. No, actually, it says, "No, I am your father." Everyone says, "Luke, I think it's "No, I am your father." We keep saying that wrong. Somehow that got mixed up, but doesn't matter. So today, number one is The Empire Strikes Back, and that's my definitive list. Let me know what you think. Which would you switch? Maybe I'm really off. I don't know, but I think the first ones, episode, 4, 5, 6, are the best ones for me. I appreciate the Phantom Menace not because my daughter got into the Clone Wars and we kind of backtracked, so I have a little bit of appreciation for it, and I think Ian McGregor is a wonderful, wonderful Obi-Wan. The new one with J.J. Abrams, I give him credit. The Force Awakens had that feel, but that's me. But again, you let me know what you think. Give me your rankings. Am I off? What do you? Okay, point of contention. Last Jedi. Who loves it? Who hates it? Let's go with that one. Let's start off with there. This is Steven from the Roundtable, wishing you a fantastic Star Wars day.